welcome to our podcast. With this podcast, we want to tell our story and our experience within the world of dating abroad. What kind of implications does such a relation have, and what can you do to make it a success? What steps do you need to take to see each other or be with each other? We will do our best to answer these questions as best as possible, but keep in mind, these are personal experience and some subjects might not apply to you. Feel free to leave a comment behind with questions or share your experience. Okay, welcome to our first podcast together. The goal of our podcast is to share our experience, our vision, our views of being in a relationship abroad. My name is Patrick. I am 35 years old and I live in the Netherlands. And I'm joined with my lovely wife.
Hi, but I'm not gonna say how old I am. And I live in Jakarta, Indonesia.
So we've known each other for 6 years almost, and we've been we now since last year been married, and our current situation is that we are still living separate, but we are working around the paperwork and everything. But we do want to, like I said earlier, share our experience. So yeah, that's we are going to share our journey with you guys, and hopefully you will learn something of it. But keep in mind, these are personal experiences, and it might not apply to you on certain subjects. So, what are we going to talk about today, Ina?
Many things, I guess. We can talk a lot about ourselves. Like currently we're doing the long distance marriage, and then you know what? Many people that ask me. So after we've been married, since September, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then September 2023, and then in the Netherlands, I'm back to Jakarta, and then you know what? There's a lot of people, including my friends, that thinking that I already moved for good to the Netherlands, that they not believing me that we're currently doing the long distance marriage. It's it's not like we're really planning it into, right?
Pretty much, there's a lot of bureaucratic things that come around the corner when you're getting married, and what you need to consider being married and also being in a relationship in the first place, that some people just forget about. You know, you cannot easily go from one country to another country, even if you're married. Um, there are certain criteria that every country has that you have to fulfill.
Yeah, and that's not easy. Yeah, it's good that if you guys can, if you have a partner abroad, like me and Patrick, it's good that if you guys already got the can fulfill all of the requirement, and then after marriage, and then you guys can move for good and then living together. But that's quite not an option for us currently. Yeah.
Pretty much. But we are working towards it, and we are very optimistic about it, to work forward to it, so that we can be together forever.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? Like after the second question from the people that I know, like
Mm.
around me, that it's not like they're only talking and ask to me about the long distance marriage. They're also like most likely asking me to find another bule for them. Like that's quite yeah. Hey, did you? did Patrick have another friends that can be my partner? You know, like I'm like a living Tinder for them to find a bule because they think I'm a bule hunter. You know, you
So
know what is bule hunter is?
So I do have to clarify a few things. Is that our listeners might not know what a bule is, and a bule in
Oh, okay.
terms is a foreigner from a different country in
Yeah.
Indonesia. So I am a bule in the eyes
Mhm.
of the Indonesian people, um, and my lovely wife is married to me, as she's married to a bule. But the concept of Bule Hunter is not so known to me. So please.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, that's true. That bule is most likely a foreigner that have a different nationality in Indonesia. So basically, I'm also a bule in European point of view, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just the same. So, but bule is an Indonesian terms, and then bule hunter is like a words for someone that really wants to have a partner for bule and they don't want to be with local. So they only looking for a partner that's specifically bule.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, bule it's also can be mean some because it literally meaning someone from another country. So in Asia, it's also called bule, but the terms in Indonesia, bule is people from European. It's most likely people from European.
Mm-hmm. Um,
So yeah,
so
the
th-
bule hunter. Hmm?
would it be something else if it's from the United States or from Africa? Would it still count as a boulet, or would there be a different word for it?
Same.
Same, okay. But the
Yeah, like
context is more aimed towards Europeans.
yeah,
Okay.
European blonde, you know, have a blue eyes, and then you know have a very high nose, you know, something like that. That's very. I know that's very specific,
Profiling.
but
It's profiling.
yeah, I know, but yeah, that's something that Indonesian women very up to, but
But are they?
not.
Um, well, you clarified that a boulet hunter is specifically looking for a foreigner man out of Europe. Then I understand that context.
Mhm.
But is their reason always valid? Like, is the reason that they don't want to look locally because they don't feel attracted to that, or are they doing it for the money, maybe for love, or have their own personal gains for it, or are they just using it as a step stone for to getting more friends, maybe in Europe?
Well, there's a lot of reason from the women that's be a bully hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to clarify that bullet hunter is someone that only want to have a partner bully and they don't even want to look at the locals. So if they have a boyfriend, then they very looking into no, I only want bully. I only want foreigner. I'm not playing with locals, you know, something like that. But they have their own reason. Like for example, maybe love, I don't know. It's good that they really count into love, but also maybe that's because they're looking the bule it's more attractive for them
Mm-hmm.
because bule in many Indonesian woman mindset is someone's that very romantic, you know, came from the Hollywood movie and then the European movie. Bule is very romantic, tall, and then handsome, white. It's something like white supremacy, don't you?
Could
But
could good to know that the French people romantic vibe is rubbing off on me. Then.
No, we're not trying to talk about the very specific country about that, but
No, it's Europe. Yeah, I know. I know.
that's very judgy, you know.
No, no, it's not judgy. That's saying that Boulet needs to be having blonde hair, blue eyes. No,
Yeah,
that's not
that's
judging.
yeah, I know, but that's just in many, like a Disney movie. The princess need to be like that, and then the prince needs to be like this.
Hmm.
That's every woman in around the world have their own standard and criteria for their prince in the white horse. So for many Indonesian, maybe for Indonesian women's, maybe the bule is have that imagination of the prince in the white horse.
Hmm.
So, but not all of them really have that kind of things and that kind of reason to have a partner with bule. But me also not, yeah. I don't have that reason. For
So
me, for myself,
yeah.
no, it will be telling you like why I choose you, no?
No, I'm
No,
not doing that. No.
no, but we should tell people that we met through the online dating apps.
Yes.
So
I think it's better to go deeper into the subject of online dating on a different podcast. But we did
yeah,
meet each other on online dating. Even
we
thought
met.
the romantic story behind it is that we both were not even looking. We were just looking for friends, you know.
Yeah,
So.
but that's something that we're really interesting topic that
Mhm.
um why the first place I can be matched with you and then you can be matched with me because the online dating setting is quite different with the algorithm and such. Because that time I was went to the Netherlands and then the apps it's still stuck in
Mhm.
the algorithm in the Netherlands, so that's why I can met him online. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then I
But
come back to
yeah.
Indonesia. Yeah, I come back to Indonesia and then we match and then we talk and then
And.
people started saying that, okay, I am the bully hunter because I only want to have a boyfriend, a bully boyfriend.
Mhm.
But I can say that I'm not really looking into bully. I tried in the online dating. I need to be honest to you. Yeah, I'm so sorry. It it's just a talk. It's just discussion, but you already know this. But I did the a match with a few locals.
Mhm.
That's a proof that I'm not the bully hunter only, yeah. Only, it's not only, but
Okay. Okay. Okay.
uh,
I believe you for now. Um. So
no,
um.
I mm, yeah,
What
yeah,
I do want to know is that is there also a negative image for boulet hunters? Like
yeah.
for Indonesian people. Like I'm not going to go into the cultural aspect. That's maybe for later on. But I'm really focusing on what is the negative side of it.
Well, actually, yes, because they only like very specific to wants to have a partner, bully partner, and
Mm.
then like again, people in Indonesia tend to think that bule is always rich. So there's a lot of people thinking that all of the bule is rich.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can marry with that bule, they can be rich.
Yeah.
And also that's to because they're foreigner, like for example, maybe they're from America, and then they can like automatically can go to America to live in America with their partner, and then it's can be like, hey guys, I'm living in America,
Mhm.
something like that. So um yeah, that's the negative side. And then a lot of women also think that if we're married with Bule, and then we can have very beautiful kids, a very multinational kids, because that mixed DNA between Asia and European or America is have a quite unique um, mixing, so yeah, it have that kind of negative
Is it
talk.
is it now coming to the cultural? Sorry, I was actually coughing earlier, and I put the wrong microphone off, so you didn't hear it, but the listeners will hear it sadly enough. Um,
I
so
hear it.
the is there a stigma regarding Bule hunters in the cultural aspects of Indonesia?
Um, the stigma, yeah, it's more like negative than positive,
Mm-hmm.
even though like right now it's not that negative. I mean, hey, this is 2024. Like we can be have a friends within around the world. We can meet people around the world. So this is the technology. This is 2024. Who will be thinking that Bully Hunter anymore? So I think I think right now it's time to change the mindset of Bully Hunter, because everyone have their own reason. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
have their own motivation, for example. And for me, if people say that, am I a bully hunter? No, I'm not. Because I have my own reason why I'm looking into bully and why I'm matched with bully. It just bully just seemed like another man around the world,
Mm-hmm.
Even same with local, but just maybe
Is it
it's the person.
is it something that is more seen negative by the older generation within Indonesia, or are the
Uh,
younger generation within Indonesia also struggling with the concept of bules, dating bule?
Yeah, it's more in the older generation, because right now the younger generation is already like open-minded with every chances that they have, and then also um they're more open-minded. It's not longer thinking that, okay, we can be rich if we married with Bule, but I can be rich with my own with yeah. So they don't care about bule or not.
Mm-hmm.
If it's bule, then it's okay. If it's not bule, it's also okay. So like currently they're just thinking about, okay, I'm matched with this person because it's match. Everything is match. I mean, from the perspective, from the way we talk, the way we discuss, and everything. So I think it's good. It's something like an improvement for me.
Mm-hmm. Um, on another subject, because we're looking at Indonesia specifically, let's branch a little bit out. Do you know if the concept of Bule Hunter is also known in different countries? Is it specifically something in Indonesia, or is it also something that happens in Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, you name it? Um, does it happen there also, or do you know something that it doesn't happen there? For example, I do know, uh, new from since yesterday, that in China there is like, um, how do you call it? A single market for women to go and sell themselves off to find a suitable partner. It is a thing
Mm-hmm.
there, and I was actually surprised that it is a thing there. And the person in question was from South Africa, and he was totally in the spotlight, unwanted into spotlight, but he was in the spotlight that he was like being targeted, being, oh, he is an opportunity to go abroad, um, to, in this case, South Africa. That was really interesting to see that he was that something like that would happen in Asia, and that they are looking for European or American, you name it, people for partnership.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, for another country, I'm not sure about that. But
Mm.
like nowadays, people is going abroad, like around the world for school, for work, and such. So I think it's also become a chance for them to meeting their partner from even though from in the foreign countries. So, but that's different case with China because like currently, as we know, China is have a problem with the birth rate,
Mm-hmm.
and then they keep dropping because of the also what we call in the sexual recession.
Mm-hmm.
That's why,
It also has to
um,
do with the communists' plans of ruling that only one family can have one child, and that is actually the after effect that they are dealing with right now.
yeah, yeah, that's true. But also like currently, also there's a lot of people that change their mind and change their concept to about uh marriage and then also to have a kids.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they just not looking into it right now.
Mm-hmm. Not that
Yeah,
kind of responsibility and such. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
But I do respect on that. I mean, like it's an option. It's a it's their choice.
Mm.
So
So I would
well,
presume, building further onto that, is that China is not the only country that has that problem. There are more
mhm,
countries like Japan also have a decrease of population at the moment, and
mhm.
which is a higher issue. The government is working towards it, but in Europe we do not really have a word for it, or specific something for it to call, to find the love in a different country, because Europe is based on the fact that we are a European Union. We are one of many countries, which makes it easier to travel from one country to another, or live and work in a different country. That is a
No,
possibility. Um,
well, I can say it no because you guys no need to go outside of your country because there's a lot of Asian people that want to move to your country and then find you guys. You know,
No, it's
so
it's it's like different for us. But there are people like myself. I'm more feel more attracted to Asian people. Then
oh really?
yes, yes, I married one.
So, so you're Asian
Uh,
hunter? No?
hmm?
So you're Asian hunter? No, no, not
Nah,
not hunter hunter. You're Asian
I'm
hunter.
I'm Asian answer. Um, but I do have to say that I potentially have to follow the context of how American have formulated it into a word, well, actually two words, and that's passport bros. The concept behind passport bros is exactly as a Bule Hunter, but with the concept that they are going to Asia to find a suitable and loving and caring wife or partner, which they cannot find within their country. And I'm not saying that the Europe is the same in the same condition. It really depends on the country or whatever. But I do know that in America there is the situation that women see themselves sometimes. Do not cancel me for this. Sometimes see themselves above above other people, like their partners, and this results in disrespecting and disloyalty, and not caring for the relationship you're trying to build for a long-term base. And you can find that in Asian countries. And I have to say, out of my own experience, and I'm saying again, out of my own experience, and not saying that it is my view of my whole country where I live, um, is that I have the same experience. I see that my wife, in this case Ina, is caring, is loyal, is wants to build something with me, and is we are fighting for something, and it is something I struggled finding that calmness and structuring in my life with my past relationships. Is it because I made poor choices in my relationships in the past? It's potentially there. I don't know. Um, but yeah, and I do know that there is a lot of opinion about the passport bros in America and also in Europe, on the negative side, because people say that women that say that I am not like that, but I never had that shot with a guy. Go for it, Go get that the man or a woman um, that you want, and but keep in mind to respect each other and work with each other and talk about issues that you have. Um, because on another subject that we will talk about it on a different podcast is that communications is very important on when living abroad and from each other.
Yeah, but based on your experience, I think it's more like it's the person. It's the person, not because of their nationality or whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in that. I mean, like even in Asia, if you're not met the right person, they also you won't like match each other. I mean, so yeah, like I said, it's not before Patrick. I do have I have matched with someone also in the Netherlands, but he have a different, personality, and then different. We match in every aspect. I mean, we're talking for a few months, and then even though we're not met each other,
Mm-hmm.
but we talk about a lot of things, and then I like him that time. Yeah. I'm so sorry, but
It's
yeah, we're
before me, so I'm not even feeling it. So
yeah, of course. If I'm doing it right now or like in the future, that it will be called cheating.
hmm
So yeah, before that, then uh, we can talk a lot of things. I have a fling for him, and then like I cannot forget him. At that time I really think that we're meant for each other, but but yeah, in the end it's not works, because I do understand that he don't want to make an effort for me. Like, because of the time zones, then I always need to wake up for at 5 a.m. After I wake up, and then he wants to sleep. And then after waiting for like 6 months without talking, I decided, okay, he's not the one. So I just like cut him off without any explanation. But after that, I met Patrick, and then even though they coming from the same country from the Netherlands, but they really have a different personality. So I tend to agree that it's because of the person, it's because of their personality, it's not because of the country.
Mhm.
So
Yes, I do. That's why I clarified that my experience is related to the person and not so much the country. But
mhm.
seeing that how much experience I have with my country, I do see a certain um, shape of personality in my country that I just don't like. And I always have had a preference towards Asian people, and that's how I grew towards my preference towards those. But we will be wrapping it up for now. We've been talking. I try to keep it around 30 minutes. These podcasts, and fill these subjects about our relationship abroad, um, as much as possible, but also keeping it short. Um, so it's interesting for you, and we can also talk about specific topics. If you have specific subjects in your mind that you want to know more about, feel free to give us feedback about that. Um, do you have anything else to add, Ina?
So yeah, if you guys have a question for us, it's also possible. It's not only like, okay, any kind of topic that we will about a relationship, for example, especially about the long distance relationship, because we've been doing the LDR for,
Way too long.
yeah, way too long. Even after marriage, we're doing the long distance marriage, so we quite experienced LDR couple. So
So we have a lot to discuss about certain subjects
it's
and
not like I'm
everything.
very proud of that, yeah. It's not
No,
like
we are not proud of it, but we have learned significantly about it and also about each other in that process.
yeah, that's true. So if you guys have any question for us, it's also possible.
Hmm.
Just leave a comment and then we will talk about it for you. We will answer it for you guys.
Yes. Until then, have a lovely day, and we will see you in the next podcast. Thanks
Bye
for listening.
bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you enjoy it. So if you have any question or share to your experience, feel free to leave it behind in the comment. See you and doei!